new draft picks, but not much has changed for the Lakers. Zach Lowe joining us now. This will be LeBron's 7th season in LA, and 6 of those with AD. And he has said that he believes their championship window is still open. Yeah.
It's open. I believe him. It's still open.
The latest Lowe post features brand new head coach JJ Redick before Lakers Media Day. And Zach, you broke some news. There's some generating a little buzz about the starting lineup. Let's listen.
Have you settled on a starting 5?
Yeah. It'll be the starting 5 that went 23-10 last year.
D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, LeBron, AD.
Yep.
You talked about LeBron playing off the ball. A lot of coaches have talked about that. You've talked about shooting more threes. A lot of coaches have talked about that. What do you think is realistically possible?
I think when people hear that in regards to LeBron playing off the ball, it doesn't mean he's not going to have the ball.
RJ, you really miss JJ, don't you? There's a reason JJ likes this lineup as the Lakers went 18-6 with D'Lo, Reeves, LeBron, Hachimura, and Davis starting last season. That's the 3rd best record by any starting lineup to start 20 games together behind only the primary Nuggets and Celtics starting lineups. So, Zach, what do you think is going to be different under JJ?
I don't think much has to be different. This lineup works. I think one of the reasons Darvin Ham isn't the coach of the Lakers anymore is it took him way too long to get to this lineup. It's the obvious choice for the Lakers. And look, when in the LeBron AD era, if the Lakers have had a consistent almost weakness, they've just been kind of in the muck in the half court. It's not easy for them to get good offense in the half court. This is their best shot at spacing, shooting, and a bunch of guys who can screen for LeBron. Rui, you got a weaker defender on you, you come up. And Michael Porter Jr. is going to be barbecue chicken. Sorry, Michael Porter Jr. And like they're both the guard. Here's AD. That's an easy one. That's central casting pick and roll. But here's where it gets interesting. Reeves can screen. Bring up your smallest defenders. D'Lo can screen. Here's LeBron on the roll with Austin Reeves. You can reverse it that way. They just got a lot of options and a lot of shooting. This is their best shot at a complete team and a complete offense.
No, I agree. And when you talk about Austin Reeves during that Western Conference Finals appearance, the ball was in his hands late game, making decisions. So you want to see hands late game. No,
My boy Jefferson's got on
I agree. And when you talk
the Gucci loafers with the feet out, I see you, my fella.
about Austin Reeves during that Western Conference Finals appearance, the ball was in his hands.
Jefferson, Richardson.
Late game, making decisions. So you want to see the evolution of Reeves. Can he continue? I think the biggest question is Vando. Obviously, his health. That is a motor that the Lakers are missing. You look at their offensive rebounding numbers last year, they were low. You add Vando to this, now you have another defender, you have another energy guy, you have a guy that can guard some 5s, some 4s, so you can move Anthony Davis around. So really, to me, I know Vando's not starting the season healthy, but he is one of the ultimate keys to the success of this team. And then you have a decision to make with Rui. But if he's coming off your bench and you have that legit 12, 15-point-a-game scorer coming off your bench and you have an energy guy, I love this lineup, but it all depends on the health of Vando.
I'm going to be completely honest. I don't like this lineup right here. I do like it just based off of you can spread the floor. People can shoot the rock. You don't need Bron running point. You have multiple guys who could do that. You have D'Lo, you have Reeves, you have Max Christie, who could run the point. Me personally, I don't know, man. Early on in the season, if Austin doesn't perform, I expect Dalton Connect to kind of get some minutes and see what he could do. I'm gonna be completely honest. Or Max Christie. I think Max Christie's been in a bubble under the Lakers, and I think it's time for him to break out. I think Max Christie could do it. I think Max Christie has shown signs and sparks of young talent and capability of shooting, taking someone off the dribble, playing defense, just playing smart basketball. I've seen multiple spurts of that. Now, when I talk about the center spot, the Lakers didn't make any moves. It's the same roster. At the center spot, if AD goes down, which I'm not, but we have seen time and time again that there has been injury problems with the Lakers. We're already going to be starting off the year unhealthy again. It's not going to be good. Starting off the year unhealthy again. So you also have a Gabe Vincent in there who was injured last year for most of the year. You have a Hood Schifino who didn't get much minutes last year, but is very capable of getting going. Very active player. And then you have Cam Reddish. You have, I'm not worried about Maxwell Lewis as much, but you have Cam Reddish, Vanderbilt, who is going to be hurt, Jackson Hayes, and Connect, and then you have Bronny James as well. I don't know how much time Bronny's going to get. I don't know. He might get a couple minutes and then head to the G League. We'll see. But as far as this lineup right here, Rui Hachimura, he's been showing that he could be great. He has a nice pull-up shot, nice mid-range jump shot, plays great defense. Not great, but decent enough defense, can rebound at time. He's big body, and he's going to play smart basketball. So he could also shoot the 3 ball and get going. He can shoot the mid-range, has a nice mid-range game as well. And he has some post-game work as well. So D'Lo, we know D'Lo could get hot at any given time. And Austin Reeves, he's a player who has proven that he belongs in this league. A lot of people doubted Austin Reeves. But with all of that being said, why do I still feel, and I could hear it already, the Lakers requesting a trade? The Lakers, what are the Lakers going to do? Are the Lakers going to get a this or that? It's always a trade talk for the Lakers. There was no major moves that I'm looking at right here that is going to get them over the top. This is looking like they're going to make the playoffs, but where? I don't know if they're going to dominate through this league with this roster. And then we talk about JJ Redick as a coach. That's pretty much the question. How is JJ Redick going to turn this team around, or how are they going to perform under JJ Redick? I mean, JJ Redick's first thing he's going to do is go put the roster that had the most wins versus losses out there. Okay, no problem. You take a look at that roster. You say, okay, you can analyze it. You could maybe play a couple games, see from there how do they work. What's after that? Okay, so I'm just excited. NBA is rolling around the corner. It's almost on the way. But for this Lakers team, they're gonna have their work cut out for them this year. I think teams have adapted. Teams have brought in players who can shoot, athletic, and can run, play defense. Yeah, well, the league is not that great of a defensive league anymore, but these guys are getting more athletic, younger and younger. So I'm just, and I look at AD and I look at Bron. These are two older, not older, but Bron's older, man. He can still play, but going down the stretch, Bron can't be the one to hold this team together the whole year. He cannot be the one to carry this team the whole year. This team is going to have to come out and perform, and I'm excited for it. So let's continue, but I think the Lakers got a lot of work to do as well.
So you mentioned Vando. All these guys over here, this is what makes me nervous, and this is where JJ and his staff are going to have to find some answers. Because you look at this, you got some rookies, you got some inexperienced players. You mentioned Vando. He's a popular choice for a big role. Every time they get to the playoffs, his shooting becomes an issue and he gets played out and out and out of the rotation. Connect, JJ's high on him. Some of these guys are going to have to pop because this depth, this is a lot of unproven dudes. Makes me really nervous if one of these guys gets hurt.
And unproven, but they're unproven, but they have experience.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, the biggest answer for this team revolves around, obviously, LeBron and specifically AD. And JJ had some interesting things to say about the off-season conversations he had with Anthony Davis on your podcast. Let's listen.
I've spent some time with him. Went to a lovely dinner in Santa Monica a few weeks back. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna empower him as much as he wants to be empowered. I mean, if he wants to be first team All NBA and he wants to be in the MVP conversation all year long, we're gonna empower him to do that.
So Anthony Davis was second team All-NBA last season, but you have to go back to the 2019-20 season for the last time he made first team. And he has never won MVP, but 2020 is also the last time he even got a vote for the award, finishing sixth that season. All right, let's welcome in Kendrick Perkins to the show.
We're all day.
I've seen again, AD. Now, what I will tell you is this. You put the right kind of talent around AD and LeBron, they look completely different. When I saw them in the Olympics with raw talent around them, these two look completely different. The problem is, you look at that bench, as stated, there's no real, so I don't want them to not, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, they don't really have the complementing pieces for my liking around them. There's no real veterans like that. There's no real, I just don't see the right pieces around Bron and AD. If I'm being completely honest, I'm not saying this team can't work. I'm not saying this team can't win. I just want them to be elevated and bring the best out of them every night. And that's what I saw when they were in Paris around raw talent. And I know it's not going to be like that. It can't always be the best of the best on the same team. I'm just saying they look completely different with different type of talent around them.
Hi, Perk.
I'm in my skin.
Okay.
Is that a problem?
All right. AD was huge in 2020, Perk. The Lakers won it all that year. You've been waiting on an MVP for Anthony Davis. Do you think JJ is the coach to get it out of him?
Well, we'll see, right? Is JJ the coach to get it out of LeBron, right? Ask LeBron to take a back seat and actually hand the keys over to Anthony Davis, right? And I strongly believe last season was one of Anthony Davis' best seasons in a Laker uniform. Can JJ get Anthony Davis back to 28 points, 11 rebounds, what he did in a few seasons with the Pelicans? That's only if LeBron James is going to take a back seat. You talk about MVP, having him in the MVP conversations. Well, that's putting up numbers like a guy that's in another conference that's somewhat always compared to him and Giannis Antetokounmpo because they basically play the same position. What is JJ going to do differently than what Darvin Ham did for Anthony Davis? Is he going to get the ball more on the post? Is he going to get it at the free throw line area more? More screen and rolls, more dribble handoffs. What is it going to be? Is it going to be more threes? I think that's a conversation that JJ has to have with LeBron. I heard him talking about taking a back seat to, basically, I heard him talking about, basically talking with AD about, handing him the keys, but is LeBron going to be willing to take a back seat?
No, I agree, but this is the thing.
That is a great point right there. Because LeBron, are you going to be okay with taking less shot attempts? If AD is going to be in the MVP conversation, AD is going to have to average 30 plus. 28 at the minimum. The minimum, 27, 28 points. 11 rebounds. He's going to have to average a solid stat line for him to be in the MVP talks. And then they're going to have to be winning games. And Perk is right. What is JJ Redick going to do differently for AD? Are you going to run the ball through AD? Is AD going to be your number one option? Will the ball run through Anthony Davis? If not, how are you going to put him in the MVP talks? Based off of what? And Perk is right. LeBron is going to have to take a step back if we're even going to consider that. That's the truth. LeBron will have to take a step back and give that throne to Anthony Davis, as he's already stated he would. But we didn't see that last year. He had a great year. They both had a pretty good year. Anthony Davis had a great year. And Perk said it was probably one of his best years in a Laker uniform. But I think since I've seen AD under LeBron in the Lakers, he does not have that same, not freedom, but he just doesn't have that same it when he was in New Orleans. He was a different player, probably just felt a little bit more loose, freely. But right now, I haven't seen him really be that guy. Last year, he had a great year. Don't get me wrong. Probably his most healthy year in the past 5 years. But I think there's more in AD than what we've been seeing. I'm going to be honest. I think AD's got more in the tank. I expect a lot out of AD. He could be great, man. AD's got the skill set. He's got the jump shot. I just think he could be great. He has to take more shots. He really has to be an enforcer, and he has to be that guy on the team. He is one of those type of players. So we'll see what JJ does.
AD is in his prime. If he ends his career, in my opinion, he will be the most talented player to end his career without an MVP or a defensive player of the year. He needs to be in that conversation this season.
So much more.
That's bold.
That's bold.
Is it true?
I'd have to do some research.
It was real.
Oh, well.
A little chop it or drop it, where you decide if we chop up a topic or.
So look, man, that's going to be it right there. As I stated, I expect a lot out of AD this year, and that's a great way that we could finish this segment. Look, AD, it's time. They're absolutely right. It is time for you to go ahead and have that year. It is time for you, especially that the Lakers didn't make much change. You need to take over this team. LeBron, you are going to have to step aside. I'm not saying you can't go out and get your 25 a game. I'm not saying, LeBron, don't go get your 20 and 10 every night. But Anthony Davis has to have a breakout. I am talking about monster year. That's what I would like to see out of Anthony Davis. And the big question is, how is JJ Redick going to get Anthony Davis to do that? So I will be tuned in. I know you guys will as well. I appreciate you guys, man. Welcome to the channel. We got plenty of coverage on the way. I will catch you guys on the next video. And I'm out.